The halls of Appalachia High School in Winder, Georgia were supposed to be filled with the promise of a new school year. Instead, they echoed with the sounds of gunfire, forever scarring the community. A 14-year-old student opened fire, turning a place of learning into a scene of unimaginable horror. 2 students and 2 teachers lost their lives. 9 others were injured, their physical and emotional scars a stark reminder of the day violence shattered their world. The small town of Winder grapples with the aftermath. Parents who sent their children to school that morning never imagined the terror that awaited them. The community now mourns the loss of innocent lives, their grief a tangible presence in the air. The tragedy in Georgia has brought to light a chilling truth. The warning signs were there. Months before the shooting, the FBI received anonymous tips about the suspect. These tips mentioned online threats, including images of guns, raising alarm bells within the agency. The FBI interviewed both the suspect and his father. The father claimed their hunting guns were safely locked away, inaccessible to the teenager. The suspect himself denied making any threats. Despite the warnings and the investigation, the authorities felt they lacked sufficient evidence for an arrest. The local sheriff's office did alert schools in the area, a step taken in the interest of caution. But without concrete proof, the suspect remained free to commit an act of unspeakable violence. Today, the community grapples with a haunting question. Could this tragedy have been prevented? Thousands of miles away from the tragedy in Georgia, a different kind of threat to American security was unfolding. The U.S. Justice Department unveiled a disturbing scheme orchestrated by the Russian government. Their weapon of choice? American right-wing influencers, unsuspecting pawns in a game of international manipulation. 2 employees of RT, a Russian state-controlled media outlet, stand accused of orchestrating this insidious campaign. Konstantin Kalashnikov and Elena Afanasieva allegedly recruited and paid American influencers to spread Russian propaganda. These influencers, with their large online followings, became unwitting mouthpieces for the Kremlin. Section 4. Propaganda's grip on public opinion. The Russian scheme targeted the heart of American democracy, public opinion. By disseminating propaganda through seemingly credible American voices, the Kremlin sought to sow discord and manipulate voters. These online videos, disguised as authentic American content, garnered millions of views. The reach of this disinformation campaign was vast, potentially influencing the political views of countless citizens. The Justice Department's indictment paints a chilling picture of foreign interference in American elections. It underscores the vulnerability of online platforms to manipulation and the ease with which foreign actors can exploit them. The charges against RT employees serve as a stark reminder that the fight against foreign interference is far from over. Section 5. Safeguarding Democracy, a collective effort. The fight against foreign interference and the threat of school violence demands a multifaceted approach. Law enforcement agencies, educators, and policymakers must work together to identify and address potential threats. Schools need to be safe havens for learning, not targets for violence. Early intervention is crucial. We need to identify warning signs and provide support to individuals who may be on a path towards violence. This requires a collaborative effort involving mental health professionals, law enforcement, and community members. We cannot afford to wait for tragedy to strike before taking action. Section 6. Media literacy, our first line of defense. In today's digital age, media literacy is no longer a luxury but a necessity. We are bombarded with information from countless sources, making it challenging to discern truth from fabrication. It is imperative that we equip ourselves with the tools to critically evaluate the information we consume. We must learn to identify the sources of information, to question the motives behind the messages we encounter. We need to be wary of sensationalized headlines and biased reporting. By becoming more discerning consumers of information, we can help stem the tide of propaganda and misinformation. Our democracy depends on it.